Here we're given a function and we are asked to identify all the roots. So to do that, because I can't factor that just with anything simple, I'm going to go ahead and use rational root theorem to find all the possible rational roots. So 1, 3, 5, 15, 25, and 75 are all the roots of 75 over 1, which I'm just going to leave it all as those. So I'm going to use these and just plug them into the equation to see which one can give me 0. So I'll start with 1 here because I like to start with the easiest stuff. And then I need to set up my equation, or I'm going to use synthetic division and see here if we end up with a remainder of 0. So bring down the 1, multiply by 1. We add these together. We do 1 times -3 and we get -3. We add, we multiply, we add, we multiply, and this does not get us 0. So 1 is not a root. Now, usually I would just go up, do -1 and then 3 and then -3. But because I don't want to waste the time in this video, I actually know the answer because I've already done this one before. So I'm going to go ahead and do -3 and show you how it works. So multiply and add, multiply and add. Where are we at? 15, 45, -25, and 75. So we get a remainder of 0, which means now I can factor out x plus 3 from this equation because of the -3 here makes the equation 0. And then I use the coefficients here of, the coefficients of my answer here to get x cubed minus 7x squared plus 15x minus 25. And now I'm going to keep going. So I'm going to continue using these possible rational roots, except when I'm dealing with this, I'm no longer going to use the original coefficients. I'm going to use the coefficients that I am left with. So 1, -7, 15, and -25. So I'm going to try 5, bring down the 1, multiply, add, where am I? Multiply, add, and multiply, and we get 0 again. So now I can factor out, I have the x plus 3 from the first one. Now I have x minus 5, because it's the opposite of that number there. And then I am left with, x squared minus 2x plus 5. Now I'm going to just try to factor, see if it comes out nice and easy. So if I were to try and factor what two things multiply to 5x squared that add to -2x, doesn't really work. So I am going to use the quadratic formula for this to solve for my last two solutions. So x equals -b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c all over 2a. Simplifying this, we get 2 plus or minus the square root of -16, because all of this is 20, and 4 minus 20 is -16. The square root of -16 is 4i. And then because all of these are divisible by 2, I'm going to make that 1 plus or minus 2i. So my solutions here for this one are x equals -3, x equals 5, and x equals 1 plus or minus 2i. There are my 4 solutions for this equation here. Next it says, use the roots to sketch a prediction of what you think the graph might look like. So in this situation, it's a power of 4. So I'll do this in pink here. Power of 4, and I'm going to look at my -3, +5, and let's see here. If I were to plug in 0, negative, so like this maybe? I don't know. I know that it has to go through those two, and I know it's going to kind of bend and turn another time because it's power of 4. And we can kind of check that with the graphing calculator, see how close it is.